Today on the show you go back in time. An unknown driver leads in the show. We now have the fastest car of our circuit. But what is this car? Return for the year 2015. Today, we try an all-terrain Mercedes.
This all-terrain Mercedes exists for more than 30 years, in the range of the manufacturer. It is the G-Class. But more particularly the G55OMG, Mercedes Sport branch. Performance of the supercharged engine, V8 OMG, with 5.5-litre, was pushed up to 507 horsepower, with maximum torque 700 Nm. This vehicle has 19-inch wheels. Mercedes G55OMG to an acceleration from 0 to 100 km/h in 5.5 seconds and reaches a top speed 210 km/h, electronically limited. Inside we have the latest exclusive generation of telematics and the equipment of the air-conditioned seats optionally, with sadly leathered Xenio for improved passenger comfort. The Mercedes G55OMG now comes with a help of hill start. A sensor recognizes each time that the all-terrain vehicle is stationary on an upslope. The system instantly saves the brake pressure applied and maintains it for a short time, giving drivers enough time to pass the brake to the accelerator pedal. The big advantage of this technology is that in most cases, it eliminates the need to use the parking brake. The vehicle is available from €121,618. The options will be climbing the invoice. Not satisfied with some 507 horsepower G55? Well, this preparer has created a monster of power. It is the Brabus G800. Power side first. The V12 biturbo 6 litres of the beast is increased to 800 horsepower and 1420 Nm of torque, but limited to 1100 Nm to prevent the transmission is orbited in the first round. To shoot down the 0 to 100 km/h in 4.2 seconds for a speed limit of 250 km/h. If this G800 has seen some developments, it remains generally faithful to the architecture of his beginning. Aesthetically, the car receives a body kit and wheels aluminum 23 inches. The cockpit is customized according to the client's choice. The Brabus G800 is probably the Craft 4 wheels the most useless and more unusable currently marketed, since it is available at €1 million. Prices vary depending on the options.
Some say his eyelids can stop large caliber bullets, and that when he rubs a balloon, it produces roughly 1.21 gigawatts of energy. All we know is he's called the Steeg.
The Steeg has made an excellent start. The weight felt it in this corner of Wilson. Much smoke it emit. The car had bad a start. Good turn in Chicago. Big braking ram ahead. Well, negotiate. Tire cornering. More than 2 turns. Finally the Gamben, and it crosses the line.
The Brabus G800 did 1 minute 40, and 212,000. Just before the car budget. Here is the back of the wall of the class of TopGear Factor. Cars are classified. Not class at all, to high class. Ariel Atom V8 is very light and beautiful, but not done it for the road. It becomes ridiculous in the city when driving with it. Not class direction. Bugatti EB110, French car with the German soul. Horribly ugly faces, despite what is fast. No class at all. W Motors Lycan, original name for a car coming from Middle East. Very deconstructed as the Lamborghini. Magnificent. Very high class. Rolls-Royce Phantom isn't close to being a ghost draws that it is disproportionate with the luxurious ultra interior. Luxury was English. High class. At the next for a new episode of The Wall of the Class.
The challenge in this episode is to do 3 laps aboard a Red Bull X1 before a 205 makes 1 lap. We are on the circuit of Monza, where these 2 totally different cars will be faced. Here's a trivial Peugeot 205 with a small 60 horsepower, one of the 80-year Citadins, the best known of France. Opposite has a Red Bull X1 from Gran Turismo, propulsed by 1400 horsepower and piloted by a completely unknown driver. Ready to start? The counters are displayed, so that you correctly follow the race. A lap already carried out by the X1. The X1 is very fast cornering. It is just fast. Now 2 lap. The 205 is close from the right. The X1 exceeds and crossed the line. The X1 was 3 lap. The 205 has just finished his lap. Challenge won by the X1.
Here is the TopGear rFactor news. First, here is the most important. Third time we talk about this page in the news. Street Tracks and Cars mod rFactor has been proclaiming his modder's car thief. And now this is no longer the case. The manager of the page and the site gave the credit for the car, Audi R8 V10 Plus, modded by Germany. Hope it will make this gesture on any cars. Of course any modder can receive donation, such as Germany, mics, 997 R8 V10S, Giroda 74, and others. This gesture to support the work of the modder, to have a beautiful car. Therefore, the modder had made cars privately, such as 997 R8 V10S and mics. They are now public as here the Ford GT 2016, by Mike's Mod. Good news. Discover Shift Street All Cars, a compilation of 600 road cars for the rFactor mod. Found on F1 Classic but also on YouTube. Free download. All rights are reserved to the modders. News mods. Discover Classic Ford consists of 4 older vehicles like the Ford Escort, has the image. Available on Factor Central. Check out the Facebook page of the chain. Did hesitate not to love the page to receive the latest news of TopGear Factor, but also other videos. For participated, turn time of the show, a link is available in the description. Send me your replay, and you will pass on the show. Fair play is a must, not cheat thanks. Now is the turn of TopGear Circuit, with the car budget. It is the turn of Florian. Very good start. It has brake a bit early in the curve of Wilson and cut part of the turn. The Chicago, perfect trajectory. The most difficult turn, the hammerhead. A little cut at the end of the turn. His smokes in the follow-through, turn the tire. Second to last corner. Bend in the Gambon. And he crossed the line. Florian did a time, 1 minute, 57 and 890 thousandth. First ranking personality TopGear Factor. Let's start with the car, which is Light's Minecraft. The Alpine A310 was a sports car built by the French sports manufacturer, Alpine, from 1971 to 1984. The A310 has a rear-mounted engine, is initially powered by an engine, a 6-litre Renault 4-cylinder, with a maximum power up to 125 horsepower. Here, we have the version of 1976 V6 PRV engine, more powerful. The 2-litre 7V6 engine has been modified by Alpine, which pushed the power to 150 horsepower. The car uses a manual gearbox E4 report. It enjoys a very low weight, 980 kilograms. The A310 had some success in French motorsport, as Group 4 in rally. A310 V6 reaches a speed of 220 km per hour, and 0 at 100, 8 seconds. Today one can find an A310 V6 €15,000. Let's go back a little in time. The Alpine A110, also known as the Berlinette, is the most famous car manufacturer. The silhouette is remarkably balanced and of high purity. Competition by vocation. The Alpine A110 car is also popular personal thrill. It was produced from 1961 to 1973. Like other Alpine Road, the A110 makes extensive use of mass exhibits Renault. The A110 has a chassis, steel beam with a body in fiberglass polyester and an engine placed at the rear. In 1961, the engine started at 55 horsepower to achieve in the year 70, 200 horsepower. Berlinetta is very light with 625 kilograms. For a maximum speed of 210 kilometers hour for the more powerful version. The A110 Berlinette became mythical auto success event in rallies in the 1960s and 1970s. The A110 was championed rally in 1971 and 1973. Today its price is estimated at €34,000. What engineers think about the future of Alpine. The Alpine A110 Berlinette celebration 15 years in 2012, and to mark the event, Renault established Renault Alpine A110-50, dedicated concept car to performance and driving pleasure. The Alpine resumes the stylistic code of the Dizzy concept and displaying the new Renault face. The carbon fiber body presents a new shade of blue that refreshes and reinterprets the famous brand Alpine blue of the A110. The dashboard is particularly refined. The steering wheel Renault design created includes a color screen and features the same technology as in Formula Renault 3.5. The concept uses the engine block Renault, a 3.5-litre 24-valve 400 horsepower V6, mounted in the rear central position for a couple of 422 Nm. It weighs 880 kilograms vacuum. The wheels are 21 inches, with a single central nut. They are specific to this car and equipped with Michelin tires. The braking capability of the Alpine A110-50 is at the height of its performance. At the front, large discs of 356 mm in diameter steel are slowed by 6-piston calipers. In 2016, an Alpine series will be released with 300 horsepower Go Alpine. Very good start. The car remains perfectly in the path. The Chicago, near the tire, perfect. Its lightweight will such pay. The most difficult turn, the hammerhead. It recalls that it has 400 horsepower for approximately 900 kilo. The steed listens to rock. Turn the tire. Second to last corner. Bend in the Gambon. And he crossed the line. The Alpine A110 concept did 1 minute 13 and 551 thousandths. It flies over the performance of the other cars. Thank you very much for watching this show. Goodbye.